Hi, this is Christian Murray. I'm the program director for the Mohs Fellowship at the University of Toronto. It's November the 26th, and we're having a few interviews in the next few days. And I wanted to put together this video in case the interview got rushed or I missed some of these points, so you'd have this information at hand. Okay, so I'll just run through a few things that that I think are important for you to get, and some of this will come up in the interview. But if it doesn't, here it is. We are three people really who run the fellowship. I'm the program director. I'm there every day, 5 days a week at the hospital. I also work Mohs on Saturdays at a private Mohs clinic just down the street. You're welcome to join there, and that's the area where people often moonlight and do their own Mohs cases. But anyway, that's me. I do Mohs 5 to 6 days a week. Dr. Noel Solish does 4 days of Mohs a week. He finishes early most days and around noonish or 1 o'clock, and then he goes to his cosmetic office and does a lot of cosmetic things in the afternoon and all Friday. Dr. Anwen Chan is mostly a researcher, really. He does a lot of research, but also does Mohs full-time 2 days a week, so 2 full days a week. Also does a transplant clinic at a major hospital in the downtown Toronto. So we have 3 different Mohs surgeons there. And I mentioned this first off because that's one of our great strengths of the program, and that we have 3 different people who have different approaches to defects, to the Mohs process, and to their own practices. So you get to see each of these and different ways of approaching things. We all get along and talk together and often confer on cases, but these different approaches will add to your experience. What is it that we do? I mentioned that I'm there every day, so it's really Mohs Fellowship. Although I mentioned Dr. Chan does a lot of research, so those are opportunities for people. He also has transplant clinic. Dr. Solish does a lot of cosmetics. But by and large, you should consider this a Mohs Fellowship. Our defects are, it's hard to compare with other places, but everyone who's visited us says our defects sort of skew towards the more complex. We do 95% of our own reconstructions, and the lesions are not wimpy mostly. There are some easy cases for sure, but there are a lot of flaps and grafts and that kind of stuff. So this is a bread and butter Mohs Fellowship that you'll get great experience with regular cases, but also with more challenging cases with forehead flaps and eyelid repairs and things like that. Okay, so where do we work? Well, downtown Toronto, really at the heart of the downtown area. We're at Women's College Hospital, but it's right beside Princess Margaret and SickKids Hospital and Toronto General Hospital. These are some of the biggest hospitals in North America. So we're right downtown. Fellows often get a condo or an apartment really close by, and they walk. It's also right on the subway line, so it's pretty accessible. Other housekeeping sort of issues is our salary is over $85,000 Canadian, which works out to be about $61,000 US per year. The days are not long. They start at around 8 o'clock in the morning, and most days, the days that I'm there with Dr. Solish, we finish around 3 o'clock typically. When Dr. Chan is there, because he's smashing in all of his 2 days of Mohs on Thursdays and Fridays, he's often there a little bit later. So often until around 5 or 6 o'clock. He can finish at 3 o'clock too, but I just warn you that those days are usually a little bit longer. We have a lot of great colleagues in ENT and oculoplastic surgery and some plastic surgeons. And if people have interest in joining them with advanced repairs that need general anesthesia or those things, that we completely encourage that. We also offer extended opportunities in research or cosmetics or transplant practice if you want to, but we're not going to push you in any one of those directions. Same way with your research project. It's something that we encourage for the Mohs Fellowship, but it's not something that I'm going to be hammering you about. We typically take 2 Mohs Fellows, at least we have for the past, I'm going to say 7 or 8 years, and it's worked out really well. They each get a lot of volume and way beyond what you need. 4 or 5 times as much as you need for your minimum requirement. Our fellows are a mix of international, Canadian, and U.S. fellows. So sometimes we've had 2 U.S. fellows in a row. Other times we had 1 U.S. fellow, 1 Canadian. This year I expect we'll take 1 Canadian, 1 U.S., but again, it's a match. You never really know. That's my expectation. So those are the main things I wanted to tell you about. Variety, complexity mixed with run-of-the-mill stuff, the salary, the time we expect, and the kind of people we are, and the three Mohs surgeons. Hope that gives you a sense of a little bit, and more will come in the interview itself. Take care.